If you're looking to tune and further modify your 2015 through 2017 5.7 Ram at home, well then going with Diablo Sport's Trinity 2 Platinum Tuner and PCM swap will be a great way to unlock your truck's full potential. Now the Trinity will come preloaded with some pre-configured tunes, but will also support up to 5 custom tunes available separately. Now the Diablo Sport package will include the Trinity 2 tuner, which will be loaded with features along with an easy-to-read digital display and can be used as a performance meter, which is pretty cool to boot. Now price point for the tuner and unlocked PCM will live in that mid to high $800 range and is not CARB certified currently at this time. So if you're watching this video, then chances are you are already all too familiar with the fact that tuning your modern Hemi is not the easiest thing to do thanks to that locked factory PCM. So if your goal is to add more power to your truck through maybe bolt-ons or even forced induction, you'll typically have to either go with a piggyback option, which is available here on the site, or a complete PCM replacement and tuner combo such as the Diablo Sport that we have here today. Now the Diablo Sport package is kind of a two-part deal, guys. So let's break down the first and most exciting part in my opinion, and that is the Trinity 2 Platinum Tuner that we have right here. Now the Trinity might just be one of the more attractive color displays in the category in my humble opinion, and is capable of so much more than just holding and uploading your either canned or custom tune. For starters, it can display all kinds of data in real time. In fact, up to 24 different items at one time thanks to the different user configurable layouts. Now, this includes things like air-fuel ratio, RPM, coolant temperature, intake air temp, fuel trims, and so much more in both analog style gauges or even digital style readouts in both red or blue color themes. Now, on top of displaying all of this info, guys, the Trinity can also data log on the fly, can also read and clear those trouble codes, and disable that active fuel management and even more. Now, one feature I do really like about the Trinity, along with the ability to tune, of course, is that it can also act as a throttle control device, which has really been all the rage lately here on the site and in the truck category. Now, if you're not familiar with what a throttle control device does, basically they just crank the throttle sensitivity to take some of the lag out of your drive-by-wire system, and it's a great way to just improve the day-to-day feel of the truck. But getting back to some other key features here, guys, with the Diablo Sport, again, we talked about reading and clearing check engine lights. That's always a biggie because you don't have to rent a scanner, you don't have to take your truck to the dealer to find out what is wrong. You can do it right through the device. You can also calibrate your speedometer for both tire and gear ratio changes here. So if you've upgraded to maybe a 37, your speedo is way off, you can definitely fix that with this guy. And last but not least, it even acts as a performance tester, and it's gonna measure things like your 0 to 60 times, your 1/8 and 1/4 mile times, and even more. Really like that, it's just something fun to play with. Now, if for whatever reason you ever needed to return your truck back to stock, the Trinity can definitely handle that with a pretty simple push of a button. But then, of course, maybe the biggest reason why most truck owners would like to grab a tuner combo like this is to actually have the ability to increase both your horsepower and torque through different calibrations and essentially different modifications altogether. Now, right out of the box, the Trinity does come preloaded with some pre-configured tunes from the gang at Diablo Sport that will no doubt increase your performance and numbers over the stock calibration. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, unfortunately, we don't have any in-house dyno numbers, but ultimately that's going to boil down to a number of different factors, including your additional modifications, if any, weather conditions, and so on. Now, if you're really serious about adding big power to your Ram through heavy bolt-ons or even forced induction, the Trinity is also capable of holding up to 5 different custom tunes at one time, which is where that Platinum comes into play. Now, these custom tunes are available and sold separately, and they will need to be written for your specific truck and all of its specific modifications. And again, that is something that the Platinum can handle here and is important, again, for guys gunning for big power. Now, the second part of the Diablo Sport package here isn't as exciting. There's not as many cool features, but it's ultimately what makes all of the tuning possible and tinkering possible, and that is the unlocked factory PCM from Diablo Sport. Now, in order to secure your unlocked unit, you will need to exchange the factory PCM that is located in your truck as a core. Now, Diablo Sport is very clear and very specific in saying you cannot go to the junkyard and buy a junkyard PCM. You cannot use a remanufactured PCM. They will not honor those in this case. It will need to be the unit from your truck, which does leave you with a little bit of downtime here, but something that is necessary for the job. Now, ultimately, if you do decide this is the best route for you and your Hemi, here's what you can expect when it comes time to get everything installed. This is a two-part job, guys. First part's gonna be removing your stock PCM, sending that out, waiting for your unlocked unit, and then the second part of the equation will be plugging in your Trinity tuner and uploading the tune of your choice. Now, with all that being said, site's still gonna call this pretty solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe 45 minutes or so, give or take, to complete the job from start to finish. Now, to give you a detailed walkthrough of what exactly everything looks like, feel free to check this thing out from the AT Customer now.
All right, today I'm going to be doing a Trinity 2 Diablo tuner and PCM swap. The tools I'll need is a 1/4 ratchet, a 1-inch extension, a 10mm socket, and a 10mm wrench. All right, the first thing I like to do is take the 10mm wrench and disconnect the positive side of the battery. If I'm going to be doing anything electrical to the vehicle, I like to keep it powered. All right, the next step that I'm going to do is disconnect the PCM from the actual truck. Got to push in on the button here, lift all the way up. Same thing with this one. Pull them back, just wiggle them back and forth. And then what I'll be doing is taking out this bolt here, this bolt here, this bolt here. All 3 of them are going to be a 10mm socket. And now just when you undo this last screw, careful not for it to drop on the ground. Make sure not to dent any of the pins inside the PCM. Alright, since my truck is a 2015 plus, I have to send my PCM to be unlocked. What I did was I sent it out and I called the tech support at AmericanTrucking.com, and they got me a hold of Diablo Tuning, and they set me up for shipping, and I was able to ship it in and have it next day shipped to them, and I received it 2 days later. Now just putting the same 3 bolts back into place where they were. Hand tighten them and then use a 10mm ratchet to tighten them back down. You want to do the same with this one here, here, and here. Now that you have all 3 screws back in there and nice and snug, you want to be ready to put your pin harnesses back on. Just push them on gently until they go back as far as you can go without forcing them in. Make sure, again, not to mess any of the pins up. Make sure when you do it that they obviously go left to right. To secure them back in, push down on the red handle and it will snap into place just like you did here. You'll do the same with the other. And then you have your PCM back in. Diablo will give you a paper with instructions on what to do with your install next. Now that I've gotten my PCM back in, I can repower my truck. Obviously, put your positive back on and make sure to tighten all the way down. You have everything done. You want to take the OBD plug and plug it into your OBD plug down here below the gas, above the gas pedal, below the steering wheel. Make sure to plug it in the right way. Push it firmly against it. Should be nice and plugged in. And I would wind it around so that it's not just wires hanging everywhere. And then plug the back side. The other side of the port into the tuner itself. Alright, now that I got everything hooked up and ready to go, you'll just follow the instructions on the screen as they come on. Don't start your vehicle yet. Everything you'll need to do, the tuner will tell you. Hit the tuning button. It can take a few seconds due to the fact that it's pulling all the information from your vehicle to the tuner. Once you get this filled out, it will ask you to turn your vehicle to run. If you have a push start, just hit it to run. If you have a key, put it in, you just put it to run also. Don't start the vehicle. Now that it's come up on the screen, I'll put the vehicle into run. Now that they have the vehicle in run, I'll hit press green to continue. All right, once you get all the situation dealt with the PCM being modified and installed, your vehicle will sometimes not be able to register the pedal or the throttle. Diablo provides a paper to instruct you on how to reset it if need be. Not all vehicles do that. If it does happen, just follow the instructions, and if need be, call Diablo tech support. Once you're done with all this, you'll go to your back to your tuner, and it'll come up with any options that you want for your tunes. And if you select anyone that you want to run, it'll download and install into your vehicle. All right, like I said, you had the different engine tunes options on the screen. I selected 87 octane tune. Now it is doing a backup of my original file of my tune, and then it will do the tune from Diablo to the vehicle. That's downloaded. It's instructing me to turn off the ignition and then I'll press continue on the screen. Now that I turned it off, I'll hit continue. Now it's prompting me to turn ignition on or put the vehicle into run. Do not start the vehicle. Then press screen to continue again. PCM is now uploading the original backup to the actual tuner itself. So if you ever need to go to the original tune, it will be on file on the tuner. Now it's asking, would you like to install the tune as is, or would you like to customize the tune by modifying the adjustment parameters? I'm not going to do any of that just yet. I've not got all the modifications I want in the vehicle, so I'll just go with the stock tune that it's giving me the option to. So I'll hit install. Then I'll go ahead and accept and install. And now it is writing the tune and putting the 87 octane tune onto the vehicle. Now don't be worried if your dash comes up as a bunch of Christmas tree lights. It's gonna happen. It's just rewriting some of the program and adjusting things, so you might have alarms come on and off. I wouldn't worry about it until it's completely done, and don't turn anything off unless it tells you to, and don't unplug anything. Alright, now that the tune has loaded onto the PCM, it's asking me to turn off the ignition and then to press continue on screen. And now it's asking me to turn on the ignition or put it into run mode. Do not start the vehicle again. And then press OK on screen. I like to give my vehicle a few seconds just to get all the systems going. And then I'll hit OK. And once again, it's asking me to turn the ignition off. Then press the screen again to continue. And once again, it's asking me to turn the ignition on and then to run. Do not turn the vehicle on. Then press the screen to continue. Now it's saying the PCM last tune PCM exporting files, and now it says your vehicle has been successfully tuned. Press continue to return to the main menu. Alright, I'm going to hit continue, and now I'm at the main screen. The Trinity 2 tuner comes with data logging and logging of the vehicle, so it will display any data logs that you need. You can data log stuff. Has diagnostics, so you can diagnose any errors or any engine codes coming up in your vehicle. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can run a performance test if you want. Other than that, that's everything for the tune. You'll be able to start the vehicle up after the tune, and that's it. Now that I have everything installed, my tune's good to go. I'm running an 87 octane tune from Diablo. Now that you have all that done, you can go to your logs. We'll pull up your information for your vehicle, and it should display all your oil temperatures, anything you want. It's just asking me if I have checked for updates. You'll be able to check for updates if you plug it into your connect to your Wi-Fi, or use the plug that Diablo sent to plug it to a computer with a USB port, and go to their website at diablotunes.com, and there's downloads on the first page. If you go to downloads, it will direct you to downloads for different Mac, Android, or PC. It'll give you an update, and you'll have to install it on your computer and update the Diablo tuner itself. I've already done that, so I'll hit skip. Now just running gives you the option for a tutorial through everything. It's just showing you everything of what it can do, what you can display, what you can change, the different themes, different wallpapers. You can edit any of the layout. Shows you what each button does, from the help to data logging, which is used for tuning for any third-party tuner that you want to do or use. Then it gives a option for what each icon stands for and what it will do for you. You can just if you want to skip this, you can just hit continue, but I'm just showing what it does. And then I'll just say disable this tutorial, and now it's just showing my idle of everything on my vehicle. And then if you slide to the right, it will show your different gauges of your vehicle. And if you slide all the way to the right, it will show your engine speed, your RPMs, what you're idling at. It's cold where I live, so it's idling a little high at the moment. It will show your load, your average, your mass airflow, how much air you have flowing through it, and then your base speed and everything like that once you start moving. That's about it. Thanks.
So wrapping this one up, guys, if you are looking to unlock some serious power out of your 5.7 Hemi, along with using some very cool and fun to use features, be sure to check out the Diablo Sport Trinity 2 tuner and PCM swap kit right here at AmericanTrucks.com.